Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the DIY guy and today I've got another plumbing video for you. And today we're going to be taking a look at solvent weld waste pipes. So I'm going to show you how to solvent weld waste pipe properly so that you get a good seal first time every time. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to be giving you some really valuable tips and tricks that a lot of people don't realise when they're looking at solvent weld. But before we make a start on this, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below because there's loads of plumbing tips and tricks already on the channel and there's going to be a lot more to come in the future. So make sure you're subscribed, and also if this video helps you out, please make sure to hit the like button for me because that will allow this video to reach and help more people on YouTube. Okay, so I know you guys like it when I run through what you're going to need for a job. So if you're starting out with solvent weld waste pipes, obviously you're going to need some solvent weld waste pipes. Now I'll tell you a bit more about what to watch out for with these later on in the video, but just make sure you're buying solvent weld waste pipe that's designed to be solvent welded, and make sure you're buying the correct diameter for the job at hand. So for example, baths, kitchen sinks, showers, go with 40mm, and if you're looking at things like basins, go with a 32mm, and then grab yourselves the appropriate solvent weld fittings. Also, you're going to want some solvent weld. There's plenty of different ones of these on the market. I'll stick a link in the description. There's some optional bits you might need, like a piece of sandpaper, a hacksaw, and a marker pen. If you can, grab yourselves one of these pipe cutters. They make a fantastic clean cut. They're a lot faster and cleaner than using a saw, and I'd thoroughly recommend them. Again, I'll stick a link in the description so you can see where to grab one. Right, let's make a start. First step, grab yourself a length of solvent weld waste pipe. Now it's critical that you select the correct solvent weld waste pipe and that you don't accidentally select push fit waste pipe, because push fit waste pipe will not do the same job. It will not weld to the plastic surface inside your fitting. Now when you're using solvent weld, a lot of people think you're gluing. You're not. You're welding this fitting onto this pipe. The solvent will melt the surface of the pipe and the surface inside that fitting, and it will weld the two together. So you need to be very careful that you don't select the wrong pipe and that you actually use solvent weld. The other thing that confuses a lot of people is that these fittings are actually a 43mm fitting, and this 40mm solvent waste pipe is actually a diameter of 42mm, and it will not fit inside a push fit 40mm fitting. There are ways to join the two together. If you want to know what those are, drop me a comment below and I'll let you know. So grab a length of pipe, grab yourself one of these cutters, make your cut wherever you need it. Let's just assume I need it there. A great little tip, if you're a beginner, mark it with a marker pen. Grab your cutter and line that up with the mark that you've made. And these cutters are really easy to just twist and chop that pipe. Now if you look at the pipe we've cut, you get a lovely clean straight cut with those cutters. Now you can use a hacksaw for this, but it leaves a messy edge that you'll need to clean up with a piece of sandpaper afterwards. If you do decide to do that with a saw and a piece of sandpaper, or you can use a Stanley blade knife, just make sure that you get all the burrs off the outside of the pipe, and also, more importantly, the inside of the pipe. Because if you don't, as hair and soap and all the other gunk travels through the pipe, what you'll end up with over time is that those burrs inside that pipe will cause a blockage. So make sure you do that if you haven't got one of these cutters. So once you've got your two lengths of pipe cut, we're going to go ahead and weld these together now, and I'll show you just how easy it is. A lot of people think it's quite scary. It's not. It's really simple. To grab your two lengths of pipe, you can do them one at a time. All you need to do, grab your solvent weld, and don't sniff the solvent weld because it is extremely strong and it's not going to do you any good. When you open the solvent weld up, it'll have a little brush like this on the end. They don't hang around because you don't have loads of time. Paste quite a bit of that around the end of the pipe. Don't be stingy with it because you're only going to get one shot at this. Paste a load of that round. Grab hold of your fitting and push it on in a twisting motion. And what you're aiming for inside is for your pipe to hit the stop on the inside so that it's pushed fully into the fitting. if it's not pushed fully into that fitting, you're going to end up getting leaks. So we'll do the same with the other side. Push it in a twisting motion, and there you go, leave that to set. Now some people like to put a layer of solvent weld inside the fitting as well. When I was taught to do this, I was always told that that's a bad idea, and the reason for that is if there's excess solvent weld inside here, when you push that pipe in, that excess solvent weld will end up inside the fitting, and again that will reduce flow and especially on bends create blockages in the future. So I would advise just putting the solvent weld onto the pipe itself. Now that you've got that welded together, leave it about 5 minutes to go off, and then you can put water through it and give it a test. What I would say is you only get one shot at these. When they're together, they really are welded together. That is the idea behind the solvent, is it melts the pipe and welds the two surfaces together. You will not be able to separate this after about 5 minutes. You would have to chop out and replace the whole section, so just bear that in mind. Make sure you get it right the first time. If you have to, have a practice on a bench so that you know what you're doing before you go attempting this in a concealed area where it may then be harder to make a repair afterwards. So one piece of advice to bear in mind, if you're new to solvent weld, because you only get one shot at this, what I would advise is that you dry fit any complex or long runs before you weld them together. So what we do to dry fit, push the pipes together because they can still be separated at this point. Now let's assume we need to come off this way. But let's say that we need the pipe to then come up, like so. Once you've got all of the components fitted exactly as you want, grab yourself a marker pen and just make a mark across the joint. And then when you glue them together, make sure those marks line up, and that way you'll know if they're out of line. Line your marks up, and that way you know that once all those marks are lined up, that the pipes are going back in exactly the same place as what you planned. And you can see how quick and easy solvent weld is. People think it's quite a scary thing to do. It's not, it's really simple. And there you go, that is how quick and easy you can make complex patterns from solvent weld waste pipe. So guys, that's it for today's plumbing tips video. I've got plenty more plumbing tips on the channel. Hit one of these little boxes here and that will link you to one of my other videos, and also make sure you hit the subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on my other great content to come. And give the video a like if it's helped you out, because that helps this video reach more people and help more people on YouTube. I've been the DIY guy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.